Good afternoon. Today we are going to talk about the difference between a support group and a coaching, having a coach work with you. Now I'm inviting Coach Katie on, and the reason why we're talking about this is I think I've mentioned to you before, recently I've kind of changed things around where I'm going to bring Katie on camera, I'm going to be selling my fitness programs like as a one-off anymore. Hey, Katie, we did it. We just
Hi.
had to
Yes.
reboot the phones and whatnot. Now, Katie, I was just explaining that recently I've kind of changed my entire business model because for years and years, I would just sell like my bikini belly, challenge burpee, challenge jump rope, challenge fat loss, female fat loss over 40. Like I had all these fitness programs that I would be, offering to women. And each year I would come out with something, well, I know what would really help them. First of all, way back when in 2010, I came out with female fat loss over 40 and it was just a PDF. And then I came out with videos, and then I came out with videos with 3 fitness models. And I always wanted to one up, to provide more support, to make a better program. And I've come to realize that I probably was doing a disservice because the missing piece is support and accountability. And so I'm no longer offering those programs. I want to coach people because that's what's going to get them the results. So, then I've been getting some emails asking, all right, well, what's the difference between having a support group and having a coach? So that's what you and I are going to talk about.
Yeah.
So I mean, Katie and I are on the same page. For those of you that haven't met her, that are new to the Healthy Secrets group, Katie is one of my nutrition coaches, and having great success with lots of clients in your own business and with helping my clients as well. So I'm really happy about that. So why don't you first start off talking about your experience in a support group from, a user end and, from both sides?
So for me personally, I would say that being in a support group is good in the fact that you're getting encouragement from numerous people. There's always going to be someone there to say, good job, way to go, keep it on track. Maybe they're going to give some input on trying something new if you're having an issue sticking with the program for some reason. I find it is harder to stay or get to my end result quicker because I don't have somebody giving me individual attention and giving me a tailored plan or program based on my desired outcomes and my lifestyle.
Right.
So,
yeah.
I mean, there's pros and cons to each, but I find the coach is way more personalized and interactive during or in your life, part of your life to help with goals.
I think one of the issues in a support group, while it's really awesome, all of us need to surround ourselves with supportive people, whether that's an online support group, whether that's a group of friends you have coffee with, whether that's a phone date you have with someone. A support group or your network, your support is like a cheerleader, the one that's going to hold, cheer you on and encourage you. But there's the problem I find with a support, whatever it is, whether it's online or offline, is that sometimes you get advice in a support group and then you get this advice and that advice and this advice. And then it's like, you don't know what to do.
Completely.
Yeah.
It's almost like going down a cereal aisle and seeing there's so many choices. You're like, I thought I kind of knew, but now I have no idea what to do because there's too many options. Too much feedback can make things confusing. And then maybe you try something that one person suggested for 3 days, and then you try something else for a couple days. So you're not being consistent with one thing.
Right. So then it's almost like program hopping. So you're not actually trying anything long enough to see if it will work. So you're
Yeah.
kind of getting this pinball effect from,
Yes.
you know, bouncing around and maybe a bit of indecision. And so maybe then you're not full in on one suggestion and then you flip over to another. And so that can be the downfall of a
Mhm.
support group. But my suggestion is having a support group along with a coach, because like you said, and I found the same, both you, Katie, and I, both, we have coaches in different aspects of our life, whether it's
Mhm.
like I have my powerlifting coach, you know, like nutrition, I have business coach, I have a lot, and I know that you do.
Mhm.
And the reason is because then I get clear direction.
Yes.
And then so it's nice to have that clear direction and roadmap. And
Mhm.
then that coach holds my feet to the fire, my accountability, they're my accountability partner. But then I'm also in support groups where I can kind of, you know, weigh in at where I'm at.
Mhm.
And then you get the cheerleader going alongside you.
Yeah, because we all need that encouragement and the cheerleading going
Yes.
going behind us. But
Yeah.
it is very important to just have somebody that knows you personally and that has maybe developed a plan for you specifically, so that
Correct.
when you're checking in on that with that coach, they know right where you're at, your individual requirements. You know,
Exactly.
all the group, they don't know every aspect of your of you know what's going on as much as that private coach would.
It's true. And I love this Healthy Secrets page, and there's so many great women on here, and they're so helpful. But sometimes you don't know the backstory. And so
Mm.
sometimes the
Mhm.
advice that people provide each other is not always as helpful as it can be.
Yeah.
So while I love this community, I want to encourage everyone in this community to consider going to the next step. And that would be
Mhm.
having the coach alongside the community to help you reach your goals. Because I know for me, it has bought speed. Like, why would I want to reinvent the wheel when I want to achieve a goal? I want to find someone that knows how to achieve the goal. And rather
Mhm.
than me, you know, swirling around trying to figure out how to get there, I've
Yep.
just I've just been able to get a coach to help me get there faster. And I
Yeah.
think the thing is a lot of people think, oh, you know, it's expensive, I can't
Mm.
afford it. They're looking at the cost, but they're
Mhm.
not looking at what it's worth.
Mhm.
Because I mean, how much would it be worth for most women to be able to get up and feel energized and be able to put their clothes on without having to, you know, like go to the fat side of the closet or dress in the dark because they can't stand
Yeah.
the way they look in the mirror,
Mm.
or you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
not always the cost,
Mm.
it's what it's worth to you. And your health often is not valued
Mm.
until it starts to
Mm.
fade.
That's true.
So our encouragement, I think we're both on the same page here, Katie, is that the support group is awesome,
Mhm.
but maybe is not the only thing.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And you know, even you can scramble around looking for particular things for meals or exercises, or trying to do it all on your own. But like having just uh, a plan already done, like how you said that you don't have to reinvent the wheel, that is going to take a lot of stress off of you, you know, because we already have busy lives, and it's sometimes just nice to have somebody say, you know what, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to check up on you on this day and make sure that you're sticking on track.
Yeah.
And it kind of takes a load off of
It
one
does.
more responsibility. I mean, yeah, you have to be responsible for the plan and putting it into practice, but you don't have to come up with it.
Exactly. And I know there's so much confusion, for example, just on nutrition right now. Like the keto plan is so big right now.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we have our opinions on it. And did you know that the keto diet was actually invented, or they found that epileptics, when they were on a strict keto plan, that helped to reduce their like their seizures. So that's
Mm.
kind of how it
Wow.
started, and then
Okay.
there was the coincidental, serendipitous result of weight loss.
Mm.
So, like, we have to be looking at nutrition plans and
Mhm.
be looking at, like, why were they made? What
Mm.
purpose are they for? Will they do our bodies good long term?
Yes.
Like, I'm not a big proponent of, cutting out an entire macronutrient,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't feel like that's something that's a long-term solution. But we're getting off on a
Right.
tangent. But the point is that I know that women in this group, for example, there's been discussion. Should I do keto? Should I do intermittent
Mm.
fasting? What about low carb instead of keto? Like, there's just so many different competing ideas, and then misinformation out there,
Mm-hmm.
that it's like, if we can just cut, to the, like, find out the information that's best helpful to a person, and then tailor
Mm-hmm.
something to that person,
Yeah.
that's going to get them results so much faster. So instead of looking at the cost, which is very
Mm.
reasonable, really, like
Mm-hmm.
pennies to a dollar a day, or just a couple a day, to get the
Mm-hmm.
end result. And then once you get on your way, it's not like you sign up for a coach and then you're with them for the rest of your life, although
Right.
I've got some clients that have been with me for 14 years.
Okay.
But the idea is that we just want to push you along on the right path,
That's right.
right?
Yep. And teach you along the way so that you can learn how to be your own coach. Um,
Exactly.
but granted, like, we still, we are getting coaches still. So there's always going to be areas in your life. And sometimes there are, certain people, like the clients that you've had for 14 years, they just do better with that accountability and
Right.
just having someone to push them along.
Yeah, it's not to say that they can't do it on their own. They've just chosen
Yeah.
not to. But I mean, I know my goal and your goal as a coach is to do ourselves out of a job.
Yep.
I want to empower the
Yes.
clients that I work with, educate, rather than just, and that's the other thing about, like, not just giving a workout plan. Like, I'm not educating
Mm-hmm.
those people in terms of, I mean, they could connect the dots in terms of, I guess I'm supposed to be doing metabolic resistance training and high intensity interval training. I need to be keeping the workout short. Like, they're not going to connect
Mm-hmm.
those dots. But when we work with them, as we move them through a nutrition plan or through a workout plan,
Mm-hmm.
we're educating them so that at the end of the day, they're designing their own meal plans.
Yes.
They're shopping without texting us and saying this or that, or they're sitting in a
Yep.
restaurant and they know what to eat at,
Yes.
off a menu. But
Yes.
in the beginning, there's a lot of hand holding, and you're
Yeah.
not necessarily going to get that from a support group.
Mm-hmm.
You ask a support group and you're going to, get 15 different answers.
Yep.
So,
And you're absolutely right. There is a lot of that hand holding in the beginning, but that's one of the perks of having a coach. And as we continue to educate and teach, it will take time, but
yeah.
as you start to learn, then you need us less and less and less, and then you're like, wow, this isn't as hard as I thought it was.
Exactly. What seems to be like a big task or big challenge in the beginning turns out, I can handle this. I can fly
Yeah.
on my own.
Right.
So then once you've had the coaching, then maybe going back to the support group
Yes.
is more reasonable. But I still believe that accountability, that is the missing piece, and that is what reduces the drift, because it's the drift that everybody drifts back to old habits.
That's
So
so
at
true.
least the support group kind of helps, keeps the bumpers
Mm-hmm.
up. But also with the support group, when I've noticed that when people are turned on, they're posting in the support group, they're
Mm-hmm.
calling friends, they're initiating it. You
Yeah.
have to be self-initiated, but when you're
Mm-hmm.
off the radar, how many times have you found clients that are off the radar, and what's happening to them?
Just discouraged, maybe keeping their distance away from the group. I
Yeah.
find that when you are connected and you're doing the work, you start to become an encourager for others.
Right. But when you're having a hard time, people tend to
Mm-hmm.
pull back. They
Yes.
don't get the encouragement, they don't do the encouraging, and then they drift off.
Yeah.
So for someone that feels that they can't get a coach, the one tip that I would tell them to keep top of mind awareness to help you with your own fitness walk is just to encourage others, because you want to, your brain will want to have congruence. So if I'm encouraging you to eat well, Katie, it's not likely I'm going to go and eat a bag of Miss Vicky's. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not going to feel good about, you know, finding myself at the bottom of an ice cream tub if I'm telling you, or if I'm telling, you know, people in a group to, you know, eat well or to exercise, and if I'm not doing it myself. So when you're encouraging others, it does help you with your walk. So that is a good thing about a support group.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's right.
But in any case, like I said, in this Facebook Live, Katie and I just wanted to talk about the difference between a support group and having a coach. And I did want to mention that that is one thing that I'm moving away from, is just selling like digital programs and telling you to go do it on your own. I want you to at least have a support group, but then I also want you to have a coach to help you, you know, get through that, at least in the beginning, until those healthy habits are created.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm super excited to be working with people in a closer relationship, because you know, while my programs have helped over 60,000 people, I don't get the FaceTime with them. I don't talk to them on the phone. I don't have a profound change in their, you know, you don't get to change them profoundly. Some people don't even open a program. Some people will throw money at a program. You know, they'll buy it and think, well, I bought it. It's on my computer. It's there for me when I need it. Then not going to do anything, just sitting there. Right?
That's too bad.
It is. And so having a coach saying, okay, have you done this yet? Have you done this? How about now? How about now?
Exactly.
Right? So I know that I don't want to disappoint my coach, and I know that you don't either.
Yeah. That's right.
So having that, just that extra accountability and the I don't want to disappoint my coach factor gets me moving and closer to my goals. And that's what we want to have happen for the women in this group, for the women in our Shauna 24/7 membership, where we're showing up all the time. And so just encouraging all the people to really think about the best ways, the fastest ways, if you're really serious about your health goals. What are you doing to make, you know, to get to the end result?
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you for joining me, Katie. It's always nicer to do a Facebook Live with somebody where I get to have a conversation rather than just talk to myself. So.
You're welcome.
Yeah, awesome.
Thanks for the invite.
Yes, and for anybody on the page, I've got Coach Katie, I've got Coach Perry. And I will put a link up for anybody that's interested in discussing what it would look like to work with a coach. We can have a conversation, and we'll see you next time, Katie.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay,
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.